Tell him. No, I can't. Oh, come on, just do it. No, it's too embarrassing. Oh, who cares? Tell him anyways. No, I can't. Okay, well, I'm gonna tell him then. No, don't. The only way I won't is if you tell him first. Okay, I'll do it. Tee. Oh my god. Hey, TechDweeb.
Yeah, what is it?
Pocket Vert has something she wants to tell you.
Okay.
Get up here. I can't. You said you would. Okay. Hey, TechDweeb, guess what?
What?
I think you're cute.
This is my life now. The Pocket Vert. That sounds like a move from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and I did play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on this Pocket Vert, so I guess that's like a half-truth. Regardless, this is not a skateboard trick, but is actually a retro handheld emulation doodad. A very, 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 very premium emulation doodad by Ioneo, the company that makes all those very premium emulation doodads. It's got vertical energy, an all-glass front, metal body, cool transparent buttons and D-pad, a crazy high-resolution screen, a weird hidden magic touchpad that gives you analog stick-style inputs, enough power to play a ton of stuff, but as always with Ioneo's premium doodads, it has a premium price tag to match. But also like with Ioneo's stuff, there's a lot more to the story because I think this handheld might be the most perfect handheld for a certain type of user. And for another type of user, it won't. And for a different user, it might be. And for another different user, it might not. But what about you? This is rocking a 3.5-inch LCD panel with a 1440 by 1600 resolution. We get a high power but not top of the line chip. This is a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. We get 8 GB or 12 GB of RAM, 128 GB or 256 GB of storage, Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.2, a 6000 mAh battery, and it's running Android 14. We don't actually know the price yet. The Chinese price has been revealed, which converts to about 240 USDs, but the final global price may be more than that. Or less. Who knows these days? But probably more. Let's be real. It comes in 3 color jams: midnight black, lava red, and I have this lovely white color, which they call moon white. Get a load of the slogan that they gave it. Pure as moonlight, shifting glow reveals elegance and distinct charm. On the front, we have a screen, that's where your games happen, and a D-pad over here, face buttons over here. This area might look like there's nothing, but there's actually a hidden sneaky touchpad there. This is Android back, a combo start and select, and this is an Ioneo quick settings button. Over here on the left are 2 function buttons and a volume wheel, which I love to see. Over on the right is 2 more function buttons and a power button and a sneaky trap door with an SD card hole inside. Underneath is downward firing speakers. Boo! And a headphone hole. Yay! Woohoo! And a USB-C hole for charging and video out and all that stuff. Up top is a whole bunch of holes for airflow, and around back is our bumpers and triggers, and up here is more airflow holes. Ioneo makes some really premium stuff, but this is even more premium feeling than even most of their stuff. I think it comes down to the all-metal body, the heavy weight, the all-glass front, the semi-transparent buttons, and also the design. It's got this like CNC machined diamond cut style to it that looks like a low-poly N64 version of a handheld. Actually, when I saw this, I immediately thought about the Cybertruck, and everyone loves the Cybertruck, so everyone's obviously gonna love this. The back is metal, but this part up here is plastic, and the bumper and triggers are shiny plastic. The cooling is up here, so it's away from your hands, and when the device gets warm, and it does get a little bit warm if you're pushing it, you'll feel that mostly in your fingers up top around back. The whole body of the device doesn't get all hot the way it does on lots of metal handhelds. The all-glass front is, it's a divisive topic, I guess. I kinda love it personally. I don't find lighter colored doodads pick up fingerprints nearly as much as black ones, so maybe if I had the black one I wouldn't like it as much, but it really does feel super premium having the all glass in the front, so it's a trade-off, I guess. If it's not obvious by now, this is Ioneo trying to do their version of the analog pocket. This thing looks pretty similar in proportions and general vibe to the analog pocket, but more premium in almost every way. When I first saw the photos and videos of this, I did not like the look of it. But once I got it into my hands, it immediately left a great first impression. And now that I've had it for a few days, it has really grown on me. I think it's lovely. It's small and portable, but it is quite heavy. With the all-glass front and the metal body and the big honking battery, let's see what my temporary pocket test guy thinks. That's me, at your service, TechDweeb. Right, so if you didn't catch my last episode, I haven't found a new pocket test guy, so I have a temp to fill in until I find a new guy. And who knows, maybe if I do a good enough job, TechDweeb will just hire me. Well, don't get any big ideas, dude. You don't have any professional pocket test experience or a degree. I have my master's in engineering. Well, yeah, but engineering isn't pocket tests though, is it? Ah, yeah, that's fair. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's see how this Ioneo Pocket Vert does in my pocket. And it easily fits, however, it's a bit heavy. If I wasn't wearing a belt with my shirt tucked in like a professional, it might even pull my pants down a bit. I wouldn't recommend putting this in your pocket if you're just wearing pajama pants or something. Like me. Right, don't pocket this if you're wearing pajama pants like TechDweeb. Even still, I'll give this an 8 out of 10 for pocketability. Have a great rest of your day. He's doing a good job. Too bad I can't hire him instead. Ah well. The controls are overall quite good. The D-pad and face buttons are both clicky, as are the triggers and bumpers, but all of them are not loud. They're like a quiet click. They feel great, and I do love the control quality in general. My only caveat is that the D-pad is a little bit on the stiff side. You won't get false diagonals, but it's a bit harder to actually hit the diagonals when you're doing it quickly. Like special moves in fighting games, you have to be a bit more intentional than I'm used to. The super interesting new thing is this touchpad. The way this works is you have this little pop-up menu that you can bring up at any time, and then you can set the D-pad to be a D-pad or a left stick, so you can just play stick games on the D-pad or swap back and forth on the fly. But this area down here can act as a big touchpad, which can be the left stick or the right stick, or you can make it both sticks. The left side of the touchpad can be the left stick and the right side can be the right stick. And the touchpad stick is not great, to be honest. It works, you can use it to do stick stuff. It's kind of cool that they gave us this functionality, and I don't really have issues playing most kinds of games on here. Just don't get this expecting to be playing a ton of analog stick-centric games and have the precision of a real analog stick. It's just there, and it kind of barely gets the job done, you know? There is one neat trick that it can do though. This touchpad can become a mouse, and you can use it for mouse stuff in Android, but I know what you're thinking. Does this mean that you can play mouse-based DOS games? And the answer to that is, yeah, you can. And that's really, really cool, if you ask me. Which you did by clicking on this video. The sound is, yeah, it's okay. I always feel at a loss of what to say when the speakers are downward firing. I want to be grumpy about it, but honestly, I really don't care that much. Generally, as long as the sound is fine, and it is here, it does sound fine, then I'm fine with it. I'm almost positive that this is the exact same screen as the Analog Pocket. It has the exact same size, the exact same resolution, the exact same brightness and sRGB coverage. I'd bet money that this is the exact same screen. If you want to take me up on that bet, prepare to be poor because I'd probably win. And I'd also probably flake out if I didn't. The resolution and aspect ratio are perfect for Game Boy and Game Boy Color. It is a clean 10x integer scale here, so you're going to get absolutely perfect crispy pixels and freakishly realistic LCD shader effects. That's the main reason why the Analog Pocket was such a well-loved device, I think. Because the games just looked right in a way that is kinda hard to describe until you see it. Also, this screen is weirdly great for NES and Super Nintendo and TurboGrafx 16 because those are 8x7 aspect systems, which is closer to the 10x9 vibe that we have here compared to 4x3 displays. 4x3 stuff is fine too. You'll get some borders, but it looks crisp and readable, so I never felt like I was being punished for wanting to play a little PS1 or whatever. But 16x9 content is where I draw the line. You can do it, sure, but it'll be tiny with big borders. Or you can stretch that stuff, I guess, if you like to play games like this. It's LCD and not OLED, but that's fine. It doesn't have the best viewing angles, but that's also fine probably. It's bright enough to play during the day as long as you don't have it in direct sunlight, and nice and dim so you can play it in the dark. I mean, I don't love the screen except for Game Boy and Game Boy Color. This is easily the best Game Boy screen that I've ever used, and I'll probably use this a ton because I don't know about you, but I freaking love Game Boy games. You might even say that I'm a Game Boy, a boy who games. You might say that if you were an idiot. Not much to talk about with the system, a pretty typical iNeo system. We get that touchpad switching menu, but that's the only new thing here. You get the iNeo quick settings where you can change performance modes on the fly and switch control styles, and there's more options in the IA settings app under the hood. I set this up with ESDE as my gaming and Android front end, and I installed all my own apps and emulators. Check out this video if you want to do it like me and be as cool as me, even though that's literally not even possible. Gaming is awkward to talk about because this thing can do a ton of stuff, but I don't think that you should get it for all the stuff that it can do. This thing has great performance. Here's the benchmark results compared to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, and as you can see, it's not too far off, which is impressive considering this is a small pocket-friendly Game Boy shaped thing. You can play the vast majority of GameCube and PS2, even upscaled, with no problem at all. The very hardest games will give you some performance issues, so you might need to tinker a little bit, but that's only like the top hardest games, like hardly anything. I actually had a great time playing GameCube on here, specifically because if you enable widescreen hacks, that actually hacks the screen into any shape. So you can hack the games into a square-shaped screen and play GameCube games natively on this display in this aspect ratio. And everything that I played worked great like this. At least this stuff that didn't need analog stick inputs. It's fine for like camera control, like if you set the touchpad to be the right stick to look around when you're using the D-pad to play a platformer, but don't expect any kind of precision out of this touchpad. It's fine at best. You can run higher end stuff like Switch or PC emulation on here, but like, why would you want to? This screen is a small square screen, and those games are widescreen games. So like, I would never want to play a Switch game on here. That's just weird to me. And you know how much I hate weird things. Isn't that right, Hermione? The dinosaurs didn't go extinct. The aliens took them to the moon. There are dinosaur bones up there. NASA found them. That's why they haven't gone back. They're scared of dinosaur ghosts. I love this screen for the older stuff. That's what I'm here for. 4x3 stuff, that stuff is totally fine on this screen and it looks amazing, and there is so much pixel density here that you'd never be able to tell that stuff isn't integer scaled, even if you do have it fit the whole width of the screen. I've had an amazing time using this to play all the old retro stuff, but the stuff that I love is the 8x7 stuff like NES and Super Nintendo and TurboGrafx-16, and I am absolutely crazy about Game Boy and Game Boy Color on here. I had a great time experimenting with all the different LCD shaders, and oh man, it is so freaking good. This is so freakishly realistic as an authentic Game Boy and Game Boy Color style LCD that I literally died. I'm dead now. Hope you're happy, iNeo. Real quick about the battery and the thermals. Just anecdotally, as I've been using it, I kept wondering when I'd need to charge it, and it just felt like it was lasting forever. So I did a few tests. My low-end scenario was playing Game Boy in eco mode with no shaders at 25% screen brightness, which is where I usually leave it, and I calculated 12.5 hours of game time like that. My high-end scenario was playing GameCube upscaled to 1080p in gaming performance mode, and even like that, I calculated 5 hours of game time. The Pocket Vert does warm up when things get cooking, but it's not crazy. The heat is mostly in the plastic up at the top, away from your hands. The screen got a little bit warm when running really high-end stuff, but it never got hot or anything. And the fan is a little bit on the loud side, but it's not as bad as other devices that I've tested recently. So overall, it's just a long-lasting device, especially sticking to the low-end stuff, and it runs pretty cool and quiet too. So to wrap up, this handheld is amazing for one type of user. If you want a super premium Game Boy focused handheld, like the best Game Boy ever, super top end hardware that looks and feels like a luxury item, and are okay with everything except Game Boy being compromised to varying degrees, and you want something emulation based rather than FPGA based like an analog pocket, then this is the handheld you've been waiting for. That's more or less the same audience that would be into the analog pocket, I think. However, this does a lot more than the analog pocket. You can do GameCube and DOS emulation or whatever other magic Android stuff that you want on here. But if that's not you, if you're just looking for a vertical handheld that does lots of stuff good and you don't need something with a premium look and feel and price, then there's not a lot of good reasons to pick this over something else. The iNeo DMG is also a great choice. It's more powerful, it has an OLED screen, and I just reviewed the RG477V, which is one of my new favorite doodads. And also, if you just want good Game Boy emulation but you don't need perfection, there are so many other choices. The RG40XX is a really good vertical with premium vibes. The TrimUI brick, of course. I'm a big fan of the RG Cube XX. That's my favorite Game Boy device. At least it was before I got this Pocket Vert. I really do love this thing, and I would personally pay $240 to get this. I like it that much. But I'm a crazy person who is nuts about Game Boy and would want a super premium top-end Game Boy emulation device. And if you're crazy too, there's a link to where you can buy this in the thingy below. And that's it. That's all I have to say for now. Let me know what you think of the Pocket Vert. Are you interested in picking one up? Do you think it's cool or dumb? Do you think I'm cool or dumb? Let me know in the comments. And that'll do it for me for today. I'm TechDweeb. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.